My name is Freddy Falcones. The topic is Introduction. Most people, on one way or another, are interested in money, want to square socially, improve their quality of life, and give their children better opportunities. That is why the more you know the finance, the more knowledge you will have to make an efficient use of your resources. The fields of finance is intimately linked with two ancient disciplines, such as economy and accounting. The economy contributes knowledge for risk analysis, price theory, basic on supply and demand, and the relationship of company with bank, consumer, capital markets, the central bank, and other economic agents. Every time a company finance manager makes a decision, he or she must process a number of economic variables: GDP growth, the inflation rate, the evaluation on the sector in which the company operates, employment, the interest rate, exchange, etc. The relationship with accounting is established because it provides data about the finance economic health of the company through this finance statement. The need for information that equity have is generally satisfied through accounting reports that are used as the means of communication within the company. Finance is the nexus between economy and accounting, as the connect economic theory with the figures provide and the finance statement. Purpose of finance. Finance represents two branches of economic science that deal with everything concerning values. They deal with how they make the best decision to encourage shareholder wealth, that is, the value of their shares. At the business level, the finance executive should normally take two traits: the basic decisions. The investment decision relate to the purchase of assets, and financing decision linked to obtain the fund need to purchase two assets. Why the purpose should not be maximize the profit? There are two main reasons for not using profit maximization as an operation objective. First, the term profits mean different things depending on the case. Manager often refers to some measure of accounting earning. There are a lot of them and they are based on book values. While stock market trade talk about a gain based on market values. In addition, these are affected by accounting conversation. We might also ask, is profit maximize manager looking for maximize short or long-term profits? Second, profits ignore the term value of money and the risk assumers of obtaining them. These two aspects are summarized in the cost of capital. If capital has to be used to generate profit, an income should be recognized. Nevertheless, accounting profit do you not take into account either the time value of economy and the risk between the different alternatives. If we had two investments with equal performance, but one had less risk, we would choose the other. Profit maximize ignores three different values, but can nevertheless destroy value when the cost of capital is taken into account. The agents count the manager and the shareholder the same objectives. A shareholder hire manager or managers who act to agents on the former, the exercise the manager of the company, to arrive the agent relationship. However, the immediate question that arises is, do managers act according to the interests of the shareholders? The truth is the trade and the relationship and always arise conflict the agents should call agency costs. The most common agency costs are indirect costs. Also, their way also B. Direct costs. For example, imagine that shareholders are going to accept an investment that, if it works well, it increases the weather. On the other hand, managers might think that if the project goes bad, they could lose the job. If manager does not carry out the investment in shareholders, we have lost the opportunity in increase the wealth. This is called an agency indirect cost. There are also direct costs when shareholders must spend on the need to oversee manager action, for example, by hiring an audit to ensure that no necessary expense is incurred.
Working capital. From an accounting standpoint, working capital is defined as the difference between current assets and short-term liabilities. However, working capital is far from static. On the contrary, it constantly changes. Sales are generated on a permanent basis, and within the accounts receivable on the purchase of inventories with the consequent accounts payable. We could say that this movement begins when you buy inventories that are transformed into a product in a process, until you obtain the final product that the company then sells to its owners with profit margin. In the same way that the company gives credit to its customers for the sales when it buys inventory, it obtains financing from its suppliers. The company also maintains short-term debt with the treasurers and sometimes uses the bank's overdraft to finance short-term operations. The result of this process determines a balance that is working capital. The cash flow statement. The balance sheet information. The income statement, the statement of change is equity, and an accompanying table are combined to obtain the cash flow. In Section 4, we performed a related analysis of historical cash flow of telecom and explaining the limit to carry out the projection of the financial statements. The balances represent the financial related of the company. The reason given is objective. Several public accounts will agree on the cost of a thing, a building, or inventory when the profession stipulates pre-establishes a standard for the valuation. Also, the existence of alternative valuation criteria could determine different values. The financial statements contain historical information. The report on the financial statement of the firm remains today the document that the best summarizes the financial activities of the firm on the one requisite used by banking analysis, consults and researchers when looking to analyze the economic and financial situations of the company. However, this information is only a starting point, and for good reasons. They often do not provide critical information for decision making, as well as the financial statement may be major limitations in communicating this situation. One of the fundamental deficiencies is found in the disparity between book values and market values. This is particularly important in the case of fixed estate, but there may also be important difference in ordinary case of will be known below. Tangible fixed assets valuation and liquidity. Fixed assets can be of two types, tangible and intangible. Imagine that you start a business with acquiring certain tangible fixed assets, a plant with a machinery, These assets are recorded on the balance sheet at the historical cost. At the time, the market value of these assets is very similar to the book value. Over time, the changing amount of the assets shows the new historical cost of the accumulated depreciation. This depreciation is established by the criterion straight line, increasing or decreasing amortization, etc. What about intangible assets that do not appear on the balance sheet? Strategic positioning cannot be objectively valued, consequently they are simply not registry. Think for a moment about the reputation that have. For example, Brazilian beer permit with the message, "Number 1 for years." When it cases to be, the slogan become refreshes until so. Film beer for years have valued, but though do the difficulty of objectives valuation, this value does not appear in the balance sheet. Exchange at FIFO versus LIFO. The final existence of exchange rate on the balance sheet is usually a conflicting event. There are several methods of evaluation, FIFO, and also rate average. This has in this formula, he is the include exercise of me and his shares of the production of the goods. The FIFO method will cause final stock to be valued at the last price. Other credits. This is another item that must be debuted since it may contain credits to the company's own shareholders, tax credits, and credits to other companies of the group to which the company belongs. In the first case, the credit appears as an asset and actually a loan that has been given the some owners. Sales credits. Commercial credit is used to the company.
The principle of new ideas. New products and services can create value, so if you have the imagination for a good idea, this calls for a means of excellent return. Most good ideas are linked to the fictions and the market. The principle of comparative advantage. It simply tells you that we must devote ourselves to produce what we have a comparative advantage, in that is in which we are more efficient because produced is at a relatively lower cost. The principle of comparative advantage is complete economy, principle that there use that we must dedicate ourselves to that we are most efficient. Improving the acquisition of resources in the economy as a whole. Finances and the role of association employees. Finances represent that branch of economy essentials that in which everything contributes value. The good of finances is to maximize shareholders will see why invest decision and finances move as the most wealth to the company as possible. The principles of corporate finances provide an appropriate framework for understanding and solving problems. As the saying goes, to solve of the problem nothing better than the good story. What is the role of financial standing in the world of the financial executive? There are very good reasons which financial managers need to understand financial statements. There are used to communication, these short roles and creators where the company's performances as been in the past are the associated to organize their plans and activities. Accounting, financial gives a different approach to the same data of the financial statement. With the public account focuses attention on the ways in which they are prepared. These financial skills used for the able to use information effectively, combining the knowledge of accounting and economy to make good financial decisions. Increase the value of shares and consequently is sure world which we move forward that financial statements provide useful information, but they also have limitations, so it is important to not take declaring the use them prohibitively. The balance sheet reports the equity position of the firms in any given time. Normally, this balance sheet represents all the annual basis under the case of publicly traded companies, or as the equity basis for the company that you retain the assets and liabilities but days. That means use the balance sheet consists of money in the bank and current stocks. As the business starts to run buying and selling inventory, the active. The left side of the balance sheet shows the assets, where all the assets are recorded, and the risk that the company wants. That is what they move. Assets are resulting by decreasing the liquid stock. First assets of short-term and supplying covering or covering in components of cash and bank balance. In general, cash and bank balance represents the lowest participation isn't in covering assets. And the company keeps the medium possible balance because the money does not produce any performance with the long-term assets. Fixed assets including fixed assets, stores, machinery, and building intangibles. Assets such as patents, trademarks, or expenses of the company organization. Debt validity. The validity shows if how the company financial system banks represents the type of the right over the assets. Leasing and capital reserves not paying on debt as the legal consequence, but it creates interest limits in responsibilities for invest capital. The commercials represent an spontaneous debt that is maintained with the holdings of the company, where the good inventory then supplies employees finances the pools of the same period.